So I got into mushrooms first, and then I got into photography later so I could document my mushrooms. Mushrooms are just really interesting. One reason is that, I've always liked to be out in nature, but I would kind of feel like I wasn't really making a good use of my time when I was out in nature, because sure, I get a little bit of exercise, and sure, it's pretty out there, but, am I really furthering any of my goals when I'm out in nature? So I almost felt guilty just like spending all my weekends wandering around trails. But then when I got into mushrooms, I have an actual objective, and I tell myself, no, I'm not wasting my time. I'm out there getting the best picture I possibly can of all these mushrooms. I got an actual goal out there, and so it definitely makes me feel like I have more of a sense of purpose. But also, mushrooms are just really mysterious, so they never get old. The closer you look at them, the more interesting they become. You start to learn all the mushrooms, and then you see a mushroom that you've learned. It's like seeing an old friend, and you're like, oh, cool, it's this one again. Maybe I haven't seen this one in 5 or 10 years. You're always looking for like the nicest example of something. So I can take a really good picture of a mushroom, but somewhere out there's always going to be a better example of it. Better shape, bigger, more of them, and more stages of development. There's always you're always going to be able to get different, better pictures of mushrooms. When I was in high school, I got really into computer hacking, so I was doing a lot of illegal breaking into computers, because when you're 14 years old, like breaking into an army base is like super cool. But when I graduated from high school, then I started working in industry doing computer hacking for companies and governments. So this is a racupinate crust fungus, and it is a strongly fluorescent one. I like doing nighttime photography. It's kind of cool because you're adding your own light for the most part. So you can add ultraviolet light, you can add light of any color, you can put the light from any direction, so you can get some really unique shots. And then some mushrooms glow in the dark, so they make their own light. So I can do a long exposure and pick up the light that the mushrooms make themselves. But usually at night I'm doing ultraviolet photography, so I'm just shining ultraviolet light. In that way I'm showing the fluorescence of the mushrooms, and I get all sorts of really cool, vivid colors that you can't get during the day. You hit the menu button, and it's under the photo shooting menu. So you hit left to get back out of here. It's true that computer hacking and nature photography and studying mushrooms are complete opposites, and that's why I like them so much. Because you can do a lot of powerful things on the computer, but then you're sitting indoors at a desk all the time, and it's really cool to be out in nature, but you kind of need the computers to record and share what you're finding in nature. And if I spend half my time indoors on the computer or in the laboratory, and half my time outdoors in nature, it adds really good balance to my life, so I don't get tired of either one.